What is going on? Heavy Pour Sports, Late Night Takes Live, round of 64 preview at the half. Miami, Ohio leads SMU. If you watch the show on what we do it Sunday,
Yes.
I did not see this one. I did not see this one going this way. Got to be honest. I thought SMU was going to just come out and show that they were, a better team in a better conference. And Miami, Ohio, shooting the lights out a bit early.
Yeah, the one thing that we thought SMU would have a pretty distinct advantage was going to be rebounding because of the size issues and difference. Because Miami doesn't have anybody over 6'9" on the team. So, rebounding was going to be the way SMU was going to be able to kind of control the game. And that hadn't been the case. They're just about dead even on rebounds. And Miami gets hot. It's going to be tough to catch them.
Yeah, they better figure it out. I was, you talk about their size, when you're making shots, it's easy, but their defense transition, they've gotten back. SMU has tried to run on them a little bit. They're stepping up to the occasion for sure, which I think is surprising some folks. Definitely surprised me. But it looks like they are at least deserving at the moment. We'll see how SMU can come out. But you mentioned before we went live, and we saw it with Louisville as well. But you said who was the player that you were talking about was supposed to play? They made a statement, the SMU did, and now he's still sitting on the bench.
Yeah, it's B.J. Edwards. Little injury concern, but they came out and said that he would be fully available for the tournament. And then lo and behold, they announced he's not going to play. So a little propaganda there, I think, by SMU to secure that spot in the play-in game.
Yeah, and we said the same thing when we were kind of going over during the live on Selection Sunday with Mikel Brown. He was expected to be available, and we equated it to the College Football Playoff Committee, right? Of like, when a star player isn't playing, they maybe not find themselves in, i.e. FSU of past years. Now, it wasn't the 12 team at that point, but, teams that may be deserving, you got a stud player, you're not the same team. So they look at it, and Louisville probably kept their 6th seed by just a little, that nuance of now Mikel Brown's going to play. He ain't playing.
Nope.
He ain't playing. What's going on, T?
Yo.
And I don't know if you saw any of Mikel Brown's interview. It was definitely a young man who was coached on what to say. There might be a chance. I don't know how likely it is, but there could be a chance I play in the next game. But I'm super, super hungry to get out there, and I wake up every morning hoping today's the day my back feels good. It's like,
yeah, and I think that's a bunch of crap too. And I'm not saying he hasn't had issues or wasn't injured at any point, but I am going to say this: this kid's 19 years old, and if you're telling me that you're having these kind of back problems at 19, how in the hell are you going to play in the NBA?
Load management, my guy. They're already
exactly what it is. We talked about it today in a thread. And that's exactly what it is Peterson, the same thing. These two guys are just clowning everybody and playing when it suits them. I don't know. I don't know what the criteria for when they decide they want to play is. But I would, if I'm a GM in the NBA, I'm having a real hard time burning a high lottery pick on either one of these dudes. And I know the talent's there, don't get me wrong, but we all know too well how the NBA does their, quote, load management.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I mean, watching the play on the court, right, and minutes put in and, mindset, I think AJ, long-term, far and away the number one. But all, hating aside for the former coach who, is at Arkansas and just won an SEC tournament with the guys that were coming to Kentucky, Darius Acuff's my number 2 pick right now. If I am a GM A-Cuff's number 2 for me because I just think he's got a dog type mentality where he can really change a franchise. He's a scorer, he's a facilitator. Like, he just got it. He's got it all.
Yeah, I don't think anybody helped their stock more than he did with his play this year. Dude's been lights out.
Yeah, as Cal said, he is a beast, and he is 100% correct. He is a beast. T, my guy, how you doing, brother?
Well, just got the kids down, so it's like that woosah.
Yeah.
Like once that part of the day is finally
He's just breathing right now.
Yeah, I'm just trying to breathe. Just trying to breathe. We survived another day.
Yeah, I was lucky enough. The baby girl went down a little early today, like before 6:30, based off her, little strict sleep window she's on. So I got to come home, put her down, showered beforehand. Normally I'm out here funky, but got to watch some of the game. Have you caught any of the SMU Miami, Ohio game?
No, and I'm glad you said that. I need to turn it on right now.
Surprising to me, I think Hammer, he started the show kind of, he seemed, or before the show, kind of expecting it, especially with the guy who's sitting right now. But SMU's big. I haven't watched a lot of SMU ball, just highlights and whatnot, and leading up to this game, kind of as I was going through my bracket. That dude is soft as hell, man. He's like, what do you just waste the size out there?
That's why he's at SMU.
Right.
Yeah.
That was my whole thing.
I think they got a decent amount of money on that roster.
It's SMU. They got money, but
yeah,
that was my whole thing when y'all got all hyped when Colin Chandler dunked on the dude. I was like, he's 6'10", but he's at Nicholls State. Like, what's that tell you about I remember UNC Asheville had this dude named Kenny George. He was 7'5". He's either 7'4" or 7'5". Tyler Hansborough dunked on him. And, everybody got all hype and stuff. And I was like, well, if you're 7'4" or 7'5" and you play at UNC Asheville,
right,
that lets you know something.
Probably don't have the best footwork. Let's start there.
Yeah.
Well, looks like Prairie View is moving on as they beat Lehigh.
Lehigh.
Lehigh. Is that how you say it, Lehigh?
Yeah, I would have thought Lehigh would have won that. Good for Prairie View.
Yeah.
What about last night's game? Before we get into the round of 64 matchup, what did y'all think of last night's NC State-Texas game?
Is that Monster Mash up there?
Mashburn? Yeah.
Yeah. Man, I love me some. That's another daggone Kentucky. Always sending out dudes that I love.
Yeah.
Love Jamal Mashburn.
Well, I think I was wrong because I picked NC State in that game, and it was a back
blind squirrel finds a nut.
I
picked Texas.
Yep. Yeah. Well,
what SMU
and also
say?
Texas, I think either one of them beat BYU, so there's that.
Yeah.
What I say, Richie?
BYU.
What did I say? What stray did SMU catch?
Well,
I wasn't trying to. I wasn't trying to.
When I was talking about that big, you're like, well, that's why he's at SMU.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, they're not a basketball powerhouse. That's all. That's all I'm trying to say. No shade intended.
So as we get into the bracket, Selena's going to be on here in a little bit. Did you all have a chance to fill out your bracket? We got the Heavy Pour Sports Challenge is sent out. We actually got a decent. I was scrolling through. We got a decent crew that's going out there. T's hating on these little schools, but
yeah, that's
I'm
why
okay.
I was laughing.
Yeah.
Richie's catching him.
Again, if you're 7'5"
Yeah.
and you play at UNC Asheville, that should tell you something. That's all I'm saying.
Red flag.
That's all I'm saying. No,
it's a good point.
No,
if he was any good, he would be at Purdue, right?
Right. No shade to UNC Asheville at all. Just the facts here. Get up off me, Richie.
I'm just glad we got Richie back. He was messaging me and he was like, "Hey, are y'all not doing the show Thursdays anymore?" I was like, "No, we moved to Wednesday. You've been absent."
Which I've told him, so he has no excuse. I let him know that.
Yeah, he blamed it on me for not letting him know. I was like, "Man,
Nah, I told
Just
him.
unfortunately, he's probably in bed by the time we go live, which is my fault. Living out here on.
I don't blame him for that.
So, Hammer, did you have a chance to fill out your bracket yet?
Yes.
I got mine done too. I was gonna wait. I was gonna be part of the crew because I thought SMU was gonna win this game, and it's not over yet. But I was like, do I want to really stir the pot? SMU over Tennessee, they might be able to get it done. They got a great guard. And then I went back and looked at it. I was like, it doesn't matter. Tennessee gonna be one of these teams.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna move on. It ain't gonna happen. I will say I do have two. Our entries don't matter anyway, so I broke the rule. I said one bracket. I got my real bracket, and I got my Rando Homer bracket. That's getting Kentucky to the Final Four. I didn't get to the championship game. I didn't go that homer, but I did give us Elite Eight rematch with Michigan, circa 2014. Aaron Harrison knocking down the shot. I was like, why not? It's just too perfect. We get a chance to do it. It's 1 verse 7 this year, not 2 verse 8, but it just felt too good not to do it.
Yeah, I can't hate on you for that because the talent's there. They could definitely make a run, and if they have an obstacle kind of taken out of their way along the path, they could possibly do that. I've kind of stood by that most of the year that I think they could go to the Elite Eight.
We shall see if we can get it done. I will say though, as I was going through and doing my bracket and like going back and watching, I still have Houston, per the Sunday show winning this thing, but I think I gave some unnecessary and not accurate hate toward Arizona. That's a good basketball team. That's a really good basketball team. I think I watched, some of their losses and is it Burries? Is that how you say his name?
Yeah, Burries.
And some of the times I've seen him were not his great games, but he's a consistent guard.
Burries is a baller.
He's
like Koa Pete gets most of the attention, but Burries can go.
Yeah. T nailed it. Pete gets all the attention, and it's just like with Alabama, like Phylon gets all the spotlight. But Mr. 2 pounds of weed is the leading scorer on the team.
That is so much weed.
It's so much weed.
That's like a hefty bag, man.
That is so much.
Speaking of which, I'm either not as funny as I think I am, or the tweets go unappreciated.
Right. I'm sorry.
I thought the Soul Plane tweet was good. I thought that was good. A clever tweet.
No,
I think maybe just maybe the audience didn't pick up on it. Maybe that's just too old of a movie. But I was like, I saw him getting on the plane, and I was like, oh, I made the connection. Like this is great.
It was
what
good.
A great movie Soul Plane is.
Yeah, that was a good one. I got it immediately. Got it. So.
Richie, there is no way he's smoking all that weed.
No way.
He's distributing that throughout the whole state of Alabama. Good Lord. But there's something to be said, and I'm not gonna make this a Alabama show, focus on the Gumps too much. But Nate Oates and his track record in players and illicit activity, I mean, at some point we got to look into something, right?
Well, they got more felonies than they got Final Four, so
nobody's looking into anything with Kirby Smart. So nobody's gonna look at anything with Nate Oates. Like he wins, so they'll let it slide. Just like Kirby wins, they'll let it slide.
I mean, Will Wade's still coaching, so
yeah, and Todd Golden's the creme de la creme if you ask most college basketball folks, and he got some skeleton in his closet too. But something going on down there. It ain't right. But at least the there is some accountability this time. Brandon Miller provided an accessory to some heinous stuff, and he just kept playing and got drafted high. And he just playing NBA. Money has its privileges, I reckon. Let me pop this bracket up on here. Do it this way instead of the bootleg share screen like I did last time. But what do you think as we get into the East bracket, as you were filling out your bracket, T, focusing on the left side? Is there any big upsets that you picked as you rolled through the East or the South?
So let me start off with my disclaimer that I don't use any research or anything off my bracket. My bracket is all vibes. All right, so let's just get that out the way.
Well, that's fair, because when I was filling out mine, I did as I was going through and I was clicking like the ESPN analytics and stuff and like their numbers, and I was like, I don't agree with that. Screw it. Nope.
Yeah, I don't look at any of that.
That don't feel right.
I think your boys might be the biggest one I got. USF.
You did not. Oh, USF. Okay. I thought when you said, I was like, you picking Kentucky to lose against.
No, that's right.
That's on the other side. That's on the other side. Yeah.
I got so I think that's my biggest one. I got VCU over UNC. I don't feel good about them without Caleb Wilson. I think those are my two. UCF over UCLA, South Florida
I got that one
over Louisville, and then VCU over North Carolina. Those are my three left side upsets.
VCU, okay. How about you, Hammer? You got any
Richie,
upsets?
Richie, it's not a hype thing. It's more so I don't trust Mikael Brown to play, and I don't like Louisville without Mikael Brown.
Yeah, stick with us, Richie. I was on a Louisville space today with one of the guys from the Governor's Cup group chat that we're in. It's a mostly civil chat until we're playing each other. So I was on their space, and they gave some analysis and some thoughts about it. So I'll bring that up here once we get through Hammer. Hammer, what you got for that left side?
East region, the only upset I have is South Florida over Louisville for the same reason. I said on the show with Josh last night that when you're looking at this game, because we did a betting show, right? So I've done the selection picks bracket type thing. Then we looked at betting lines, whatnot. So anyway, so this is where this is coming from. You're not betting on whether Louisville can beat South Florida. You're betting on whether or not Mikael Brown plays, and I'm betting against that. So therefore, like T, I don't trust Louisville without him. And this South Florida team has been hot. So I can't pick Louisville. I can't back Louisville. Can't bet Louisville anything without Mikael Brown on the floor. So for me, it's South Florida.
Yeah, I picked South Florida. Obviously, scholarship, paid for school. USF got the degree. It's somewhere. I'm not quite sure where it is. But I got to back my Bulls. I think my gut tells me Louisville still finds a way to win. But listening to this space that I was in, there was zero concern about the USF game, really. Like, there was maybe some little anxiety from some folks, but most folks are like, we're going to run this team out of the gym. And that, I think, is a mistake. And if the fan base is a reflection of the team, then USF hangs around in this game without Mikael Brown, and then things get interesting. Both teams want to jack up threes. It's not affecting Miami, Ohio, but typically in first-round matchups, so first weekend matchups, as folks are getting used to the ball, folks are getting used to these new gyms, three-point percentage drops off like 4.5%, 5%. Like, it's a massive drop-off. So I think that's going to affect some of these teams. But where Louisville can win this matchup, in my opinion, is if they don't fall in love with the three-point line, they don't play typical PK basketball, and they try to get to the rim. USF does have a decently high foul rate, so if they try to get to the rim, play inside first, and then let the three-point shot fall, I think they can win. Now, I don't think they play like that. I think they allow Cromwell and McNeely to jack them up. Cromwell can shoot Louisville into games, and he can shoot them right out of games. He takes some bad shots, and if he goes cold, he goes real cold. And McNeely hasn't been great as of late. So I think the ability for USF to rebound the basketball, especially on the offensive end, to play fast, and then for Mikal Brown, their key facilitator and scorer, to not be in that game is going to be huge. So I am picking USF. I'm a little nervous about it, but I do think there's a recipe there for USF to win that ball game. And I think if USF gets past Louisville, they can go on a nice little run. I wouldn't even be surprised if we saw a UCF-USF matchup. I think UCF actually matches up decently well against UConn. But on my side of on the bracket on this left side, I also got North Carolina losing to VCU. Just talk about South Florida over Louisville. And that's the only really big upset. I saw that McNeese over Vanderbilt was a popular pick online. I don't understand that one. Not talking about upsets, though. How do y'all feel? I had trouble picking this Iowa game, Clemson, Iowa. What'd you go with on that game, Hammer? And as you talking through the betting lines and whatnot, what'd you think about that 8-9 matchup?
Yeah, this is going to be ugly. It's going to be a rock fight, probably a dead under. Don't see a lot of points in this one for an NCAA tournament game. At least I'm trying to scroll down here and see what the lines are. I was favored by 2.5, and the total is 129.5. Even at 129.5, I still bet the under, and I'm on Clemson money line. I don't know that points are going to matter in this one, so it's probably going to come down to a one possession game, or it's going to be ugly though. It's going to be a very difficult basketball game to watch, but I just like Clemson. I think their defense is a little better, and both these teams play at a snail's pace. So I just trust Clemson's defense a little bit more than I do Iowa's.
I went Iowa on that one. Just again more of a gut feel. T, which way did you go on that 8-9 matchup?
I went Iowa. ACC wasn't very good this year, and Clemson still wasn't that good in the ACC. So just not a lot of faith in them, but mostly off vibes. But yeah, that was the max amount of analysis that I had for that one. Just that they weren't that good in a not that good league.
Yeah, I have a lot of faith and confidence in either one of them, to be honest.
Same.
So it's a coin flip. So, but it doesn't matter. Neither of them are going to advance past the first round. So,
no, yeah,
either way you go, it's really not gonna be any damage done. I just think there's a little more value taking Clemson getting points. So that's really the driving force behind that pick.
I'm with Richie on the McNeese thing, but I'm a huge Tyler Tanner guy, so I got a lot of faith in him. No way McNeese.
Yeah, I don't think and Tyler Tanner had a bad game in the SEC championship. I think he rebounds or bounces back from that game. And Miles, I think there's just too much on Vandy for them to get beat by McNeese. And so then the other one, I went TCU. Oh, go ahead, T.
No, my bad. I was just going to respond to Joshy Boy. I see what he said about if we play Miami, Ohio. I actually see it differently. Where I've seen us struggle is when teams have guys who are very individually talented. In Miami, this is the first time I've been watching them, but they seem very system oriented, and I think that's where we can excel is stopping a system. If they don't have somebody who can just kind of go crazy by getting his own shot, I think that's exactly what we're built to stop this year. Last year we could both stop system and individuals. This year we can't really stop individuals, but I still think we can stop systems. And from what I'm seeing, I've only watched like 5 minutes of it, but they look very run the play, and the play gets you the shot type thing. I think we're good at disrupting that. Honestly, what I'm seeing right now, I feel pretty good about SMU or Miami.
Yeah, and I think too, our front court is a terrible matchup for Miami of Ohio. And And the fact that Miami of Ohio is hanging in there with SMU from a rebounding perspective tells me that SMU is not very good in a front court either. So neither of these teams really concern me for just that very reason. I mean, the way that we played was it South Carolina game? That's a blueprint to beat either one of these teams.
Yeah, front court dominant, ton of lobs, all that stuff.
Yeah, we'll just out-muscle them, out-rebound them, and, they'll have to put up a ton of threes. Which,
and I heard today that they were the most accurate shooting team in college basketball. So that could be an issue, to Joshy Boy's point, if they're not missing. But I think we disrupt the flow of the offense to the point where their threes are not good looks.
Yeah, because a lot of their threes come on kickouts.
Yeah, I mean, Okpara, Brown, those dudes should just absolutely eat. Like, you just find a way to just feed them the ball over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And then they don't have Gillespie's not special off the bounce, but I don't see anybody on this team that's going to keep him out from getting 2 feet in the lane. Like, if he wants to drive, he's going to drive. Like,
yeah, he's not special, but he's crafty. I mean, nobody's been able to stop him. I mean, poor games that he's had have been because of him, just off shooting nights and stuff. Not from what I've seen, I've not really seen him be too bothered.
Yeah, and I don't think Nate will have his poor shooting game again, as we saw.
Yeah, more time for the ankle to get right.
Yeah.
So I at least feel good in the first round for us.
Yeah, I'm not concerned with either team. The only thing, like I told Rando before we got on, the only thing is about Miami of Ohio is I don't want to be that team, the one that they
that loses to them.
We will never hear the end of it.
No, and I feel like the chatter around Kentucky losing has kind of quieted down, and I don't know how I feel about that.
Not on national media. Every talking head on TV is picking Tennessee or Kentucky to lose
to Santa Clara.
Yeah, and
they're bringing up the banker.
Oh my God! Yeah, no, I mean
that's what I'm talking about. I don't hear anybody talk about that anymore as much.
Oh, Golke, you mean?
Yeah, him.
Yeah. Oh, man,
what team was that?
Oakland.
Yeah.
What the most frustrating piece about that is, if you go back and look, and I don't even want to spend too much time talking about it, the way that bracket laid out, if we get past Oakland, who we have to beat to get to the Elite Eight. I mean, talk about a 10 and 11 seed to get to the Elite Eight, and we couldn't just keep Golke from 10 for 20 from the 3-point line.
It was like that the year that we lost to Loyola Chicago or whatever. It was the same way, because then it was like Florida Atlantic or something. Like it was that was the Final Four year. It should have been, and it just we lost to. They had Sister Jean or whatever. Like she just hooked them up, man.
But to close out this left side, what do y'all take on the Ohio State TCU game? I lean TCU. I think they're actually pretty decent and can get past Ohio State.
I think that's.
And I think they even play Duke tight. Duke doesn't win, but I think that's a close game. First half, Duke pulls away. But I think TCU over Ohio State, and I don't know that it's particularly close.
I like TCU. I think they can kind of clamp down. Ohio State doesn't play with a lot of tempo, and I think TCU is capable of giving them problems in half court. If they were kind of a run and gun team, I would think that maybe TCU would have some trouble, but I think defensively they're going to be able to impose their will a little bit on Ohio State. Ohio State's a good story because they came out of nowhere, middle of the season, went on kind of a run, and so they're kind of the trendy pick. But this TCU team's they're good.
Yeah, I agree. And my last one,
Ohio State's best player is their point guard. Guard play goes a long way. So I'm going Ohio State.
Okay. And then my last one, kind of on this side, Texas A&M over St. Mary's. I leaned on that. I think I talked about it on Sunday. I think the SEC play and playing in a tougher conference, what Texas A&M has just all around, I think they can beat St. Mary's. System teams, you talk about that, they might get tough, but I just think A&M has too much. I think they advance past St. Mary's, and 7-10, not a huge upset, but that's my last kind of one on that side.
Well, it's a styles make fights matchup because St. Mary's plays a very methodical half-court set pace, and A&M likes to run. So whoever dictates pace in this game is going to win. But St. Mary's, one thing that they do have is they are very disciplined on defense. They have good switches. You're not going to get them in very many mismatches. And contrary to what probably a lot of people think because of the conference they play in, that they're not like, legit Power 5 level type competition. And then from an athlete standpoint, they aren't. But Randy Bennett's a heck of a coach. They actually have a higher non-conference strength of schedule than Texas A&M does. So they've played some pretty good competition, and they beat Gonzaga. Granted, it was at home late in the year, but they do have a win over 3-seed Gonzaga. So this is another one of those coin flip games. I could make the argument that, the SEC is better competition than the West Coast Conference without question, because that's basically a 2-team league. But I don't know. This team is just they don't look like a small mid-major team to me. So I think
Texas A&M
go either way. Texas
A&M presses like all game, right? They're something going to play all 94 feet all game. So for a team that wants to play slow, methodical, get into, if you can, I wonder how, if they're used to that, if they can break the press, if that messes up the flow of their offense. Now, they typically, it being St. Mary's, typically wants to try to use a good majority of the shot clock, right? Get you moved, get you out of position.
Yeah.
And so, if maybe doesn't affect them, but if you're getting over half court at 22 seconds, not getting to your offense until 18 seconds, that movement is messed up and you're just used to playing, then maybe that's I think the press is gonna throw them off their game.
Yeah, and if A&M can get out in transition and catch St. Mary's sleeping, or just I guess basically just kind of wear them down too, because they're not used to playing at tempo, then that definitely is an advantage for A&M. So whoever dictates pace is gonna win the game, I think.
All right, so we'll go over to this right side real quick. You kind of started breaking down Tennessee, but I think there's more to kind of look at that. And by the time we get here, we might have a better idea, even though SMU has closed the gap here, 50-49. So this is becoming a hell of a ball game. SMU at the line now to tie it up. But as you look over on the right side, the West and Midwest, I didn't really have – I rode T's High Point feeling. High Point over Wisconsin. That's what you said Sunday, right, T?
Yeah.
And then Texas over BYU. I feel pretty good about that one. The 7-10 Miami-Missouri matchup, I don't know. Miami's head coach, first time there. I've talked about this before. I think Missouri has a good ball coach. I think they're a well-coached team. They win games that they're not supposed to. They can be a handful for teams. I actually have Mizzou over Miami there. I have St. Louis over Georgia in that 8-9 matchup. I took Akron over Texas Tech because of the injuries. That one, I think the social media and the talking heads on ESPN and CBS, I think I might have been influenced on that one. I couldn't take Alabama or Hofstra over Alabama, even with the Holloway news. They're too good. And then, I obviously took Kentucky over Santa Clara. But on that right side for you gents, anything that you took different from what I just laid out there?
I'm with you that the Missouri one is tough. One, I don't know anything about Miami, and two, the one time I watched Missouri, they had, the game of their lives. So that's all I had to go off of. So I had to go with Missouri because the one time I saw him, T.O. Barrett, man, that dude was unstoppable, and he's like Chauncey Billups size. So I had to go with him. I went ahead and I was feeling frisky, so I chose Howard over Michigan.
Ooh.
I'm joking. I couldn't do that.
Oh, okay. I was like, dang.
I couldn't do that. I think let's see. I got it open. The only I let Sass and Braden get to me, so I chose Utah State. I stuck with the High Point one. I'm with you, Texas over BYU. I got Missouri over Miami. I have SLU over Georgia, just like you. I did not go Akron over Texas Tech, though. I got Texas Tech winning. I did pick Hofstra to upset Alabama. And then I don't have any other upsets. I got y'all beating Santa Clara.
And before Hammer goes, Joshy boy, anytime you want to come on, brother, you jump 100%. On. If you got something you want to say right now, Hammer's got the link. He'll shoot over to you. Do a quick call in, whatever you want to do, man. Always welcome. But Hammer, anything different on that side of the bracket from what me and T just laid out?
I'm on Utah State. I went
Utah State as well.
Yeah, the Wisconsin High Point, that is going to be a barn burner. I think the line's a little. It opened at 12.5. It got bet down to 9.5. Now it's back up to 10.5. High Point can give Wisconsin problems, so I like the over. I like High Point to cover. I'm checking to see if I actually took them to win. I'm pulling it up right now, so bear with me.
While you're pulling it up, Richie asked about the spread for Hofstra Bama. It's Hofstra plus 11.5. So Bama minus 11.5. So there you go. There's your spread.
We're getting the right.
At least on DraftKings.
Yeah, I'm picking Wisconsin, but it's based on this stat. Power 5 teams against mid-majors with a spread of 6 or more points. 19-9 last year, 24-2 the year before. So these big spreads are big spreads for a reason. And while I think, anything can happen, right? Because we've seen 13 and 14 and 15 seeds win in the first round. But a lot is going to have to go right for High Point. They're going to have to make a lot of those threes. And just, I won't say play a perfect game, but they're going to have to play the game of their life to beat Wisconsin, because Wisconsin's got some pretty good wins on their resume. So I do like them to be in this game. But I do have Wisconsin winning that one. I have Texas over BYU as well. I have Missouri over Miami as well. I like St. Louis over Georgia. I'm sorry, I'm going Akron over Texas Tech. Now, I know they function well without Toppin. In fact, they won the first 2 or 3 games when he went down. Don't let this Akron team in the MAC fool you. They can pressure, and they will give fits to Texas Tech's guards. And that's really about it in that on that side of the bracket. I think the West has the potential. The West region has the potential for the most chaos to occur when you look at just low seed versus high seed. I just don't think there's going to be a whole lot of upsets in this thing. I think it's going to be pretty chalky the first round.
Yeah, I would agree there. I think we got some good games. If Tennessee State could do me a solid and just go ahead and clear the path of Iowa State, I would really, really appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
But unlikely, but like you said, who knows? Who knows?
Pop Stevens' alma mater.
Come on. I said, just tell him to bring the juice. Put on what colors are Tennessee State?
They're blue and silver, blue and white.
Yeah, blue and white. Yeah,
they're the Tigers.
Get out your.
Oh, he's got a ton of TSU gear. He's TSU license plated all up and all. Yeah,
heck yeah,
he's all in.
All right, so let's roll through. You kind of talk through it. You don't know who you're going to play. It could be Miami, Ohio. It could be SMU. 5-point game right now. 8-point game now. They just drained to 3 with about 11 minutes left.
You're like 2 seconds ahead of me. Good shot.
And SMU just called a timeout to slow the run. Which team you think you're going to beat both of them? Rightfully so. Which team would you prefer to play? And then
Miami.
You got to play Miami, Ohio. I think most Tennessee fans are opposite.
I just, again, they look really good within their system, and that's just not where I think Tennessee would struggle. I think we struggle against individual talent. So I like the way we're designed against how they're designed.
Yeah, I actually like the matchup with either one. Ditto what T just said. It's a very system team, and Rick Barnes is as good a coach of anybody as dismantling a system. You can't coach athleticism. And I think that's where SMU's better from an athletic standpoint than Miami of Ohio, but I also like the idea of playing SMU without BJ Edwards. So, I mean, either one is fine. I think Tennessee wins comfortably against either team.
Yeah, I think that's accurate. Oh, where'd she go? What's up, Selena?
I can't hear you guys. Hold on.
That's a good point, Richie. I don't understand why they don't pick a ball, stick with that ball. This whole overinflated, overly bouncy thing is preposterous. Yeah.
It's all important.
It's Tom Brady when you need him.
It's and I don't understand why they make it or just go to it all season. Do something. Like there's a way you can just, I don't know, figure it out, but just to have a new ball in the tournament is,
and why do we not even have like standard basketballs across the you know what I mean? Like, why is there not a standard for that?
Different conferences, you got. But yeah, I'm with you. Like that's something the NCAA theoretically could do, right? Like every conference shall utilize the Wilson Evolution 3500 or whatever. Like
whatever X amount PSI. Like, I mean, the NFL's got a regulation, which we all know that doesn't necessarily mean anything.
Adhered to or not is a different story.
Adhered to is different than having, but I just don't feel like there's any standardized rules or regulations as far as that goes. And for tournament, especially, it would be important because, got these teams. Let's take like Miami, for example, who's very system driven. You enter this, ball that'll bounce to the moon and it can just disrupt everything they do. So,
even best shooting team in college, but exactly like significantly different feel to the ball. And to Randall's point, like your shooting percentage is going to drop now because everything feels different.
Yeah. And I can't believe that Charlie Baker doesn't have an official sponsor for for the official basketball of the NCAA. You'd think he would be all over that, and one company would make one ball that everybody used.
Something because it doesn't, like there, like something that was new to football was the OC and the headset, right? And there was like, but these smaller schools can't pay for that thing. So is it fair or whatever? Like the haves and have-nots. The basketball money is the same. Like it $35 for one of these, like $50 for it's all the same. Like there's no reason why doesn't matter. All 360 schools can have the same damn ball. Like it just doesn't make any sense. And again, you like you said, it could be a Wilson. Doesn't have to be a brand ball that's same school. Adidas, ball or whatever, branded anyway. Just you have an agreement with one company, and then you move on.
It might be Wilson in the tournament, Richie. But what we're saying is that the SEC, not even the SEC, like Tennessee uses a different ball than Kentucky, like within the conference. So all these people are using all these different balls, and then you come to this singularly regulated ball in the tournament. But it needs to be consistent throughout the year so that the product and the quality of the product of what we're watching isn't so different.
Yeah, the same ball you dunk on Nicholls State, and the same ball you use in the Final Four. I mean, that should be the same ball.
Yeah. That's right. Colin's going to catch a body.
Hi.
Selena, how you doing?
I hope not.
I'm okay. How are you?
Great. We just went through all of our brackets, or not all of the brackets, but just our sides.
He was off on that, Richie, for sure, but you knew what he meant.
Yeah. I mean, I got Jay. I mean, it was like $45 from Nike. I mean, that is an indoor ball. It can't be too much more. I don't know, maybe inflation. Speaking of which, gas is out here is like $6 a gallon. What is going on? Good grief, man. I'm gonna have to bike my ass.
I had to fill up the Civic today, and it cost me $50 to fill up my Civic. Like that thing is like 11.5 gallon tank.
I got told I had to stop filling up last time I filled up my truck. There's a $175 cap on base, and it clicked off, and I was like, oh, I must be full. I was not full. I just reached my limit. I was like, come on, man.
Wow.
It's rough out here in the streets. But Selena, we don't have to go through all of your bracket and rehash that, but did you have any big upsets in the round of 64 on any side, east, south, west, or midwest?
Where did it go? Oh, I do think South Florida's going to be at Louisville. Well, I don't think it's really an upset at this point.
I think we're all the way around that one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's hitting me up on the basketball. Wilson Evo is $125 for a basketball.
Yeah, it's expensive.
It sucks. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, hey, the Wilson Evolution is fire though, right? That's been a good ball for 25 years. The Wilson Evolution.
I guess I'm just not stopping.
That's the right choice.
My algorithm knows don't send me $125 basketballs because I ain't buying them. They just knows to send him the $40 ones. Those are the ones he's purchasing.
I think that's my biggest one. Was St. John's over, not St. John's, but South Florida over Louisville. Although if Hawaii plays well, they can make it interesting with Arkansas. That's a good one.
Selena, I am not living right enough for Hawaii to beat Arkansas. I am sinning too many times a day to get that blessing. I'll tell you that right now.
Man.
Because I watched Hawaii play, and they're pretty fun.
Against the Aggies?
Mm-mm.
I'm just kidding.
Yes.
No, they don't play the Aggies. And then I do think Texas will beat BYU or can beat BYU.
Yeah, I think we all had that one as well.
Yeah.
Did you take Akron? Did you take Akron to beat Texas Tech?
No, I don't remember.
That was another.
I think I'm the only one that's got that one.
There's not a lot of like, oh, that's gonna be an upset, right? Like it's pretty. I feel like this season's pretty chalk across the board. I could be wrong, but South Florida Twitter has made me laugh this week.
It has been good. Mm-hmm. I'm blowing up the chat now. For some reason, Coach Evans' tweets aren't popping up, so I can click on them. But he's everybody kind of McNeese State over Vandy to Sweet 16. I don't see that one, Coach. I think Vandy's too good, but
nope, not happening.
I wish that nothing would make me happier.
He's got to get off this Tennessee to Elite Eight nonsense. It's making me sick. Making me sick.
I mean, there's a path, but they got to have help.
Yeah. My Homer bracket has a Tennessee Kentucky matchup, Sweet 16 again, because I figured I had to be consistent. We beat a rival to get to play Michigan, so I had to be all right. We got a chance to beat a rival again, Tennessee. I don't want to play that third game, but I was like, if the juju's going to match up, then I got to say, hey, we beat a Kentucky basketball rival, then we get to play Michigan, then we get to the Final Four. So I'm hoping the stars align.
Yeah.
Slee, did you make a Kentucky homer bracket, or do you just stick to the rules and only do one?
I always do a homer bracket and then
Okay, good.
the normal one. I feel like that's what everyone needs to do. If they don't, they're weird. And
I did, and then I pulled it out when I saw your Hitler type rules that you could only have one entry. So
Well, that was for people who actually can win some stuff. For us, it's fine. But
in Miami over here, and
yep, they keep every time SMU makes a run, they stretch it back out to a 8-10 point lead.
Yeah, well, shooting almost 40% from three is going to be tough for anybody.
They hit 10 in the first half alone.
Yep. They have gone cold in the second half, but here's the thing: that SMU cannot get a rebound.
Points prop with about
because they're running a
6
zone.
minutes left in the first half.
You can't get rebounds in the zone. And why would you run a zone against the best shooting team in college basketball? I don't.
That's you got to get in their face.
Okay.
Well, they were.
That's
well,
why
the thing is, they were in the face the first half, and they still hit 10 threes.
Yeah, but they're not going to keep shooting at that pace.
Zone is not the way.
If you're contesting the shot, they're not going to keep shooting at that rate. But if you stand there and let them shoot, then
That Bayer kid from Miami is on fire, though.
Yeah, zone is not how you cool a team's shooting off.
No,
that's for sure.
Yeah, it's a way to give them second chance points or opportunities like they are right now.
Yeah, and the fact they've got there's 3 rebounds difference between SMU and Miami that's just ridiculous on SMU's part.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So they absolutely deserve.
Miami's just they've out hustled them this entire game. Yeah. Like they have wanted it more. They've acted like they have something to prove the entire game, and they do, I guess. But
and SMU's down a player. I mean, which I'm sure they knew going into this game. The rest of us got fed a line of crap, but I'm sure they were aware that Edwards wasn't going to play. So
yeah.
He's been out since February with an ankle.
25th. Yep.
Yeah.
Reminds me
ankles are no joke, man.
The Kentucky was it Hawkins was out forever with a high ankle sprain one time right like 8 weeks with one. Remember that?
Yeah, they say sometimes it's better to just break your ankle than get a
absolutely. I sprained my ankle my junior year of high school, and my doctor was like, should have broke it. He's like, I tore every ligament I had. Like I just didn't break it, but that's because I'm hypermobile, so my joints just bend, they don't break. And it took me about 3 months to fully heal. It was rough. Yeah,
I've jacked both my ankles up. They're like 2 different shapes now and everything.
One of my feet has like a weird little thing where a bone moved and it's like a little triangle inside of my foot. I'm like, oh, that's cute.
Yeah, I've broken my foot. I've never had ankle issues, and I kind of cringe at the thought of it. That just seems like one of those. It's just because
that is the most painful.
There is.
I would think it would be. Yeah,
there's nothing worse than curling your ankle. I swear to God, nothing worse than that. I've
turned it, but I've never fractured it or dislocated or anything like some of these horrific injuries you see and hear about. And I just cringe. Like I hit my ankles together sometimes, and I think I'm going to lose teeth.
Man,
it's not that obvious.
No, my redshirt sophomore year, I broke my collarbone in college. I broke my collarbone.
That is the worst pain in the world.
First play of the first game of the season, and I kept playing for 3 more series, right? But it was really painful, but I was still playing. Sprained ankle hurts way more than a broken collarbone to me. Sprained ankle is the worst.
You are crazy, T.
I've done both.
So. Shoulder surgery hurts pretty bad too. The rehab for shoulder surgery is freaking rough.
Rehab for shoulder is the worst.
It is rough.
I have a nice big scar right here from when I broke my collarbone. So I kept playing for a few more series. Finally, this was the first game of the season, so adrenaline, crazy high, all that, right? As that starts coming down, I look at my coach. I'm like, something's up with my shoulder, man. I can't go back out there. So he's like, all right. Trainer comes over. We take my pads off, and my bone is it's like,
oh Lord,
like this. And he was just like, yeah, you broke your collarbone. So
I don't know how you did that. I broke my collarbone. I took a bubble screen, caught the pass, got hit in the side, and driven into the ground. and the side that got driven to the ground broke my collarbone. I laid on the ground. I didn't know what happened. I just knew I couldn't breathe. I was like, and they have to reset yours? They put me in like this straitjacket thing and reset it.
I had surgery.
Oh yeah, mine just reset.
So
I don't know how you went back out there. I mean, you played on defense. You were hitting people.
Yeah, I was just like, man, my shoulder really hurts, but I didn't know what it was, and then it just started hurting more and more and more, and then
my shoulder hurts, and I feel like I'm having a heart attack. But other than that, I'm fine.
Hey, I was not fine. I laid there, and I mean,
we're not from the soft generation, man.
No, Richie, you're right. My shoulder will never be the same after I had it fixed.
Yeah, I've had 3 knee surgeries, and I've seen dudes in there. I mean, just ripped up, big old dudes doing shoulder rehab, and just tears running down their face.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
When I was in there the day after my surgery, and I cried the entire time because it hurt so bad.
Yeah, I've got an impingement in the right shoulder, and I had to do therapy on it, trying to avoid the surgery because, like, I've seen it. I don't want any part of it.
It's awful.
And the therapy is horrible. Like,
yeah.
And with that thing all locked up and no range of motion, like, I couldn't imagine how painful that is. Getting it repaired.
My second surgery is what got the Naval Academy to drop my ass like a bad habit. That was my way to play ball and do the whole thing. And I had a second one, same thing, rotator cuff and labrum tear, and they did it.
Yeah.
And I dislocated my shoulder again. I tried to get back out there my senior year and play ball. I dislocated again, tore it all up, and the doc was like, "All right, here you go. Listen, we're gonna take." And this doctor that did my surgery did the ligament repair on Ocho Cinco. He was down in Orlando. He was Cincinnati's orthopedic surgeon. So, like, I think he was pretty good. He was like, your labrum is like supposed to be this big. It's only this big. You're going to have these problems for the rest of your life. But we're going to take a ligament from your ankle and we're going to like anchor your shoulder. I was like, Doc, there ain't nothing wrong with my ankle. Let's leave that thing alone. And I'll just accept that my shoulder sucks. And I'm built like glass.
Don't get me 2 problems.
Yeah, like ankle's fine. Let's leave that alone. And then we'll do. Now they got all these different cadavers, whatever the hell they're called, to get it. But I'm just there. I will live with the tear and just live through it. I ain't getting the surgery. Just not doing it.
So speaking of shoulders,
can't move it real good, but I'm just gonna live with it.
Rando and we were at the basic school. I think I've explained the basic school to y'all, right? That's where, like, no matter if you're Naval Academy, ROTC, OCS, like, all Marine officers meet at the basic school. That's where me and Rando and Black all met and became tight. So we have to do land nav, right? Like, you get your map, your compass, and your protractor, and you draw all the stuff up, figure out where to go, how to go, all that. So land nav 3, Rando and I both had a really, really bad day. This is the hills of Quantico, right? So super steep hills and all that. Rando takes a tumble because, it's full of leaves, so it's slippery and all that. Rando takes a tumble, reaches out to stop himself, dislocates that shoulder again.
Right out.
Me, I am severely malnutrition.
Nourished.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Words are hard. Malnourished and catch an entire full lower body cramp. Quads, hamstrings, calves, all that. So I just sat down on a fallen tree. I missed the time hack, right? Like, you got 2 hours to finish all your points or whatever. I was like, I don't care. I'm not taking another step. They're blowing the air horn, trying to find me. I'm just out in the woods. I'm just sitting down. I'm not moving. I finally get up.
The platoon's like, T dead.
They think they lost me in the woods of Quantico, all that. So they make everybody who's out there doing the land nav, they have to like get online and go out into the woods and go look for me. So luckily my platoon, me and Rando and Black's platoon, they find me and not some 5th platoon or whatever. At least it was my own family, So anyway, we go and we have to hike all the way out to where land nav was. So as soon as we try to hike back, boom, everything locks up again. So they put me in the medical evacuation vehicle, and there's Rando in his sling with his dislocated dislocated shoulder, and then like all my stuff is locking up, and like homies are like massaging my legs and stuff, trying to help me
Giving them like the chocolate chews from the MREs and shit.
Yeah, they're like spoon feeding me snacks and stuff. Like it was a rough day for 2/3 of the heavy or the Border Rivals original team. Rough day. It was crazy because I loved land nav. I actually really had a lot of fun with it, but that was not a good day.
I hated it. I hadn't had a land nav where I had got 100. I'd always missed a point, right? And it just like it's fine, you passed it, but it's like I wanted to get 100. I had got through 9 out of the 10 points you got to find. And T will attest, like while you go through it, they call it a PT event, like a physical event for a reason. You're covering, cards that are 10 clicks, 12 clicks, 15 clicks. Yeah. Like you're moving out there, and you don't have time to rest at all. Because like you said, you got a 2-hour time hack. So I got to my 9th point. I had one more left, and I was just like, I got like 20 minutes, and I was dead set on getting this last point. Like I'm coming back with 100. I felt good. I figured it out. So I sighted in because you got your compass. You can sight in. You look at something far away. You pick a tree with it's called an azimuth, your like direction. And I was like, boom, there it is. And I had like a clear shot. I was like, I can sprint. Clear shot to this next tree. I go sprint, boom, boom. Don't see the big ass drop off. Ha, ha, ha. Just right. So, boom, 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 boom. I'm like, oh shit, boom. And I found this stump, and I wanted to like catch myself. And as soon as I go to catch myself, pop right out. And I was like, oh, and I like slide down. I'm like, oh my God, I'm in the creek water. And I had done it so many times, I was able to pop it back in. Yeah. You have this thing, it's called the IFAC, which is like a medical thing. So I get my ACE bandage out, I wrap myself up.
Individual first aid kit.
Yeah. Thank you. And the worst part about all of it wasn't the shoulder dislocation, it wasn't the pain. And T's gonna laugh when I say this. I got to the back to where they judge you, where all the captains were and stuff that evaluate. In time, I reach in my cargo pocket to get my scorecard, and it's missing. And if you lose your scorecard, it's automatic fail. And I'm just like, I wanted to cry. I'm already in pain. I'm like, I couldn't find my scorecard. I'm like, no, this is the worst fucking day ever. It sucks. Oh, it was so bad. So to end the story, I put out a message to the other platoons. It's offset, right? You go one day, the other group of platoons go the other day. And I had a buddy that went to USF with me, commissioned at a USF. I was like, hey, dog, you can't like, if you find somebody else's scorecard, like cheating integrity is like massive. They will send your ass home real quick. I was like, if you happen to find a scorecard, you just hook me up, man. I don't want to know where you found it. Don't use it, whatever. The next day, and I was a brown bagger, so I lived off base, right? Because I was married. I didn't live in the barracks. I come in and I open up the door, and the scorecard was slid under my door. I'm like, I went downstairs, went to the captain. I was like, sir, I found the card. He goes, how'd you get that? Don't worry about it. I found my card. Did I pass? He looked at it. He goes, yeah, you passed. I was like, I'm living right today, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, I had to go back out there and do it again.
Like, don't worry about how I got it. I just got it. It's all that matters.
Not important.
Don't ask questions.
I had to go back out on Saturday and do land F3 all over again.
And that was the thing. They did not care. I'm like, I had just dislocated my shoulder. That you can't really do light duty thing. Like, you don't want to get recycled. They're like, you got 2 options. You can look and start this thing over here in a couple months, or take your ass back out there and do land nav. Figure out. And I was like, man, I did not want to go back out there on a Saturday and do all this stuff. But all right, we got way off on a tangent. Everybody,
Sorry,
does not give a damn about any of that. But that was good memories, or bad memories, however you look at it.
Or bad.
We'll wrap up, Selena. We haven't gone over the Kentucky game. It has been a popular pick by big media and Kentucky haters for us to lose game 1 against Santa Clara. I understand they're a good team. They got some good wins. Stats say they can give us a problem. Offensive efficiency, rebounding, those sort of things. I personally think it's a fugazi.
Yeah.
I think Kentucky walks in this game and they handle them. Because of our guard play. They're not great defensively. Talk about Santa Clara. We don't live or die by the 3 typically. Not all of us. We got guys who can get downhill. So I think this is actually a decent matchup for us. How do you feel about it? And are you concerned that we get bounced?
I'm concerned that
one.
if we don't run them off the line, that concerns me a little bit, right? They have 3 guys that shoot 40% from 3, and one of them is a big guy, so big guys are have to come out and guard him. But I watched them get 20-piece by New Mexico on whatever.
Hey, don't sleep on UNM. Don't sleep.
I also never mind. Anyways, their screen defense is not great. So where we roll the curl, run the curl for Owe should eat every single time, because Mexico ran something very similar, and that curl in the middle was open every single time.
Yep, with Moreno bearing his defender, that little pin down screen, it should be there all the time.
Or even just another guard, put another guard and screen the guards, and they do not hedge well on screens, especially from the wing to the middle. They don't hedge well on those. And cause I think Gonzaga ran that too in the championship game, where they don't cover those, and then the free throw line's wide open. Ortega always shot either get to the hoop or shoot a freaking pull up every single time. Like, they shouldn't be able to guard him or Denzel for that matter. But their numbers, if you compare them, if you put them against like P5 teams or like high rated P4 teams, whatever, their numbers are actually really bad. They go really, really bad. Like they completely change, and it's like, oh, okay, then they're not that good. So,
yeah, I think the way Kentucky ended the season, absent those 2 tournament wins, I think our defense steps up. I think we can pressure the ball well against them. I think we can play in transition when we want to with them. If they want to press, they do like a simulated press just to kind of get the ball out of the point guard's hands and kind of slow us down. Like, just
pass through it. Just literally pass through the press. That's how you make passing.
Owe hasn't handled the ball great this year, especially late situations. Early in the game, him and Zell, I think, will be fine bringing up. It makes me nervous when we have Jasper in. I think they can maybe pick on him if he's handling the rock at the 1. I think we got to be careful there. And Colin can get a little frisky with the basketball, get a little loose with it. It makes me nervous. But between Zell and Ortega.
They dribble it, though. They just cut through the middle. The middle cuts are open on their defense, too. Like, cutting through the middle is open every time. Just cut and pass the ball. And the pass of that press will literally be meaningless. Like, there's no need to dribble through it.
Yeah, and I talked about USF's foul rate playing against Louisville. That concerns me if Louisville doesn't live outside and they try to actually get downhill. The Santa Clara's got one of the highest foul rates in the country, right?
Yes.
So, again, you just got to play down. Don't settle.
Don't settle for jump shots.
For these outside shots.
Points. No.
Especially dudes like Yelovich, that's not your game, right? You can make the 3, but get the basket.
I didn't know Wally went to Miami, Ohio. Did you know that, Hammer?
Yeah.
Wally Serbiak?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yep.
He was a hooper.
Mo D should absolutely eat in this game.
Miami's kicking SMU's butt.
Yeah. Up 10 right now.
And I didn't know Ron Harper went there. What the heck? Okay.
Oh, no, they're up 13 now.
I did not know Ron Harper.
11.
Ron Harper went. That's who they just showed on TV? That's Ron Harper?
Yeah. From the Bulls and Lakers. And
Wally Serbiak did, but I did not know Ron Harper.
Ron Harper looking, I will say it. That's not nice. Miami, Ohio, stretching this thing out, man. Looks like that's who you're going to play.
Yeah.
Absent a big comeback here, down 11. Miami's got the ball.
3 minutes.
Pulled another 3. Ooh, golly, SMU cannot get a rebound. Get out of the zone. How did coaches just watching this same shit over and over and over?
Yeah, how do you insanity.
And staying in a zone with under 3 minutes to go when you're down by 11, just another terrible decision.
It's a choice.
Questionable at best.
It's a
They
choice.
are loving this. They are loving this.
It is a choice. Yeah.
Yep. All right. So that's so Tennessee confident, at least from the folks on the show. Kentucky confident that we get by it. I will have a nervous energy for sure. I unfortunately going to have to watch this game from the office because it's 9:15 tip my time, I believe.
Tomorrow, yeah.
On our game's Friday, right?
Is it Friday? Yeah, Friday.
I think
Never
our
mind,
game's
it's
Friday.
12:30. We have a 12:30 tip or 12 something like that tip on Friday.
Yeah. So, all right. But before we close this thing out, curious, is there a dark horse team that you think will be, go on a run here, surprise some folks, maybe beat a a higher seed, get to the Elite Eight, Final Four. I have a team that I really like right now, but curious on if you guys got someone, let's say 4 seed or better or worse, that maybe can make some noise, get to the Elite Eight, Final Four.
I don't have anything higher than a 3 in the Final Four.
I got all
higher or lower than a 3, Hammer.
I don't have anything higher than a 3. The 3 seed is the highest I have in
the Final Four.
In the the Elite Eight. My apologies.
Oh, I was
Elite
like,
Eight.
Dang. All right then.
Elite Eight.
Who can go?
So I think Nebraska can make a run. The way they ended the regular season, they get a matchup against Vandy, that 4-5. They get past Vandy. They could give Florida fits. Again, I think Florida gets by that game. I have Florida getting by that game. But I do think if they stay hot like they had at the end of the season, I think Nebraska can potentially be one of those teams. A 4 seed getting to the Elite Eight wouldn't surprise folks. I think maybe Nebraska would. But that's a team that I have my eye on of potentially doing something and upsetting some folks and sending a team who is a lot of people's Final Four national championship pick like Florida home, especially if their guards have off games. Am I crazy for that, Hammer?
I mean, it's a tournament, so anything's possible,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
I don't like their matchup with Vanderbilt.
Yeah, I picked Vandy over them.
And I'm not calling upset here, but I think they're going to have their hands full with Troy.
You think?
Fun fact: Nebraska's never won an NCAA tournament.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
Game. Never. Defensively, they're really good. They play kind of methodical, good defense, not great scoring offense. But I think Vandy's guards is going to just give them all kinds of problems.
Yeah.
So I just don't.
If Tanner's on, yeah, I absolutely will.
Yeah. I just don't see Nebraska being able to weather that storm because Vandy. I mean, if you want to go by the formula for what a Final Four national championship team looks like, unfortunately, Vandy fits the mold.
What's
Nebraska
that? Top 20, top 25 or top 20?
It's top 30 offense, top 20 defense has been the national champions. To make the Final Four, it's a little bit more broad. So they would fit the Final Four category, not national championship Ken Pom model. Because they're top 10 offense in efficiency. They're just outside the top 30 in defense. So, I've kind of not talked it up much all year because I was just waiting for that to kind of drop off. It hasn't. Nebraska, I don't think, has enough offensive chops to stay in a game with Vandy. And I hate
I think it's going to be tough. Like you said, defensively, they're all a weird team where they take Purdue to overtime, and Purdue's had their ups and downs. They have some good wins. I like Mast. I like just some of the players on their team, and maybe that's why it is like a way that I like the way they play. I like the way they're coached. But yeah, they probably don't have the firepower to get through Vandy. I don't have them in my personal bracket getting past Vandy. I think if they got there, maybe they can give Florida some fits.
I think and I don't have this. Let me give you that caveat. But I think if there is a 4 or 5 seed or higher that can get there, I think it's St. John's.
Yeah, I have St. John's in the Final Four.
And that would mean, of course, obviously they would have to knock off Duke.
Yeah.
And also beat Connecticut again. Northern Iowa is going to test them, though. Northern Iowa can shoot threes. Northern Iowa's defense, they smother guards and run you off the line. And St. John's isn't a great shooting team anyway. But Northern Iowa gets a ton of rebounds. They get second chance points, and they score points off of turnovers. It's not a great matchup for St. John's. They're clearly more talented, and I'm not calling for an upset here, but don't be surprised if Northern Iowa's not in that game at the end. They get past them. I think they have an easier time with Kansas. Most likely they're going to see Duke. We don't know what Duke's going to look like. If Duke was healthy, I'd have them going all the way to the championship game. I just don't know. I don't know that they've got the chops with players out.
I think Texas Tech can go on a run if they play like they did a couple games after they lost Toppin. If they play like that, they can. But they did though. They had good wins after they lost Toppin. If they play like that, they can get sneaky in the tournament.
Yeah,
I mean that's.
Yeah, I just they'd have to play Michigan in the Sweet 16.
Yeah,
correct.
That would be tough. But yeah, I mean maybe Toppin just seemed but.
People counted them out though after they lost Toppin. They went and won what? How many more games that were tough games after that?
Yeah, they had a stretch there where they played well and won some big games. It's just they're going to have Akron uses ball pressure and they'll kind of squeeze your guards. And I think that's where they have they may have an advantage and may be able to pull off that upset against Texas Tech.
T, you got any dark horse sleepers?
No, I do not. I had Vandy beating Nebraska, but then I got Florida beating them. So
yeah,
same.
Yeah.
Nah, my final four is 2 1s and 2 2s.
And I'll say if there's a double-digit seed in the Elite Eight, it's going to be UCF. I like that team a lot. I don't think
they beat Connecticut.
Yeah, I don't think
UConn?
Yeah. If they can beat UConn, which I think they will give them some problems if they get past their first game. I think they're well coached. They got a good squad. They got dudes.
They beat BYU by like 30 at BYU.
Yeah, Jordan Burks. I've watched him play. I've always been high on Jordan Burks since he was Kentucky. His game has really come around. They are a well-rounded squad. Got a lot of dudes from different areas that came together. They're just a gritty team, like dudes who weren't expected or were expected to do something somewhere else or weren't expected, and they come together. And y'all know the coach, so I think they could be a double-digit seed to cause some problems. I think it would take a special game to beat UConn, but I do think it's doable. So my double-digit dark horse would be UCF, which means they potentially have to knock off my Bulls, but I do think UCF would do that if they get matched up.
I don't know.
SMU's not going to go away.
I see an 86-76 score right now. What do you got?
86-79.
86.
Oh, they just hit a 3?
Yeah.
Miami of
Greater
Ohio
things could
has
happen.
41 3-pointers in this game.
Good Lord.
41. They've made almost as many as SMU has taken.
But has it felt forced to you? Because it seemed like it's been
in the flow of the game.
It's how they play, and SMU can't disrupt it.
Well, especially if you're going to play 8 minutes of zone. It's just going to be like, thank you.
Richie put a good comment up there on there, and I've touched on that a little bit. And I kind of agree with that. I think Nebraska, Wisconsin are quite possibly overseeded. And they may find themselves in trouble.
I hope that's correct, and I'm right about the High Point upset.
Yeah,
I hope you are too.
Tons of points in that game.
Full off your gut feeling there. Yeah. I couldn't tell you the damn thing about High Point basketball, but you said it. I believed it.
Vibes, baby. It's a North Carolina school, so they were. When I was at Wingate, they were nice.
We'll close this out. I'll start from top to bottom. Who do you got winning the whole thing right now? Brackets are done. T, who's your champion?
Arizona.
All right, Hammer.
You want what I put in our bracket or what I've got?
Go with the one you have the most faith in. I only got 2 brackets, so
yeah. Let me double check here. Because I've got two teams on 2 brackets. I've got 2 sets of brackets, and I only have two teams winning it. I have Florida and Arizona in the championship game, and I have Arizona winning the national championship.
That's what I have as well.
I have Florida in the other one. Same matchup, just Florida winning it.
all right. I have Houston in my real bracket. In my homer bracket, that gets Kentucky to the Final Four. I do have Arizona winning that one, just the way the matchups go, and because I think there's got to be ways for us to get there. But
your free throws, man. Actually, I hope you're right with the Houston one. I would love to see Kelvin Sampson win one. That'd be.
Yeah.
I think that team is better than they were last year, and I think the stars are aligned to where they can get back to the Final Four. And the way that team's coached, where they play defense, and now they got a legit score. All-American point guard. I think they have a chance. And if my Cats and my Bulls get knocked out, they'll be the team that I'm all in cheering on. So yeah, give me Houston to win the chip. Selena, who do you got?
I have Arizona winning it. They're too good from top to bottom. I think they're too complete. I mean, and to be fair, their path to the Final Four can be very easy. There's not a lot of challenge there really for them to get to the Final Four.
Hey, can we do a quick exercise? Can we do who our Final Four picks are? I want to see something.
Yeah. Let's go. T, what's your Final Four pick? I'm gonna pull mine up just so because.
Yeah, I got to pull mine up too. Trying to go off memory, I got Arizona, Florida, UConn, and I think Houston. But I know
Houston and Florida.
Okay.
Four.
I'll have to figure. Give me a second.
They're on the same side.
Okay, give me a second to pull it up.
So I'll go with mine. I got St. John's, Houston, Arizona, Iowa State.
I have
Iowa State is who I have. That's who I have. UConn, Florida, Arizona, and Iowa State.
Yeah, I have St. John's, then I have Houston, I have Arizona, and then I think I have Iowa State too in mine.
I have Michigan State, Arizona, Iowa State, and Florida. Do you know who nobody has in their Final Four?
Duke.
You know who else nobody has in their Final Four?
Michigan.
Isn't that interesting?
I don't know. I think I don't have faith in Cadeau. Some of their guard play, and he's been much better than he has been in past years, since he's transferred to Michigan. I won't say Michigan's fraudulent. I just think they get got.
I don't think they're fraudulent.
No, I think they get got. Yeah.
I think Iowa State is a horrible matchup for them, and that's assuming they.
Iowa State's a bad matchup for a lot of teams, though, with how they play. To be fair, just their style of ball, they're a bad matchup for them.
Yeah, and quite honestly, I mean, I thought. Before the Aiden Holloway news broke, I thought Alabama could knock Michigan out, and they not even get to the opportunity to get beat by Iowa State. So,
yeah,
Aiden Holloway decided he wanted 2.1 pounds of weed in his apartment.
Yeah, so Ricky Williams.
Richie says we're sleeping on Virginia.
Yes,
he's got St. John's, Arizona, Houston, Virginia. I got them going far.
They did take Duke down to the wire in the ACC game. They really did.
I just think Iowa State's too balanced, and Virginia struggles on the offensive side sometimes. And I think Iowa State's just going to be able to knock them off. That's provided we don't knock them out. So, but I don't think it matters who in that bottom half of that Midwest region. I don't see anybody beating Iowa State there.
Unfortunately, me either.
But Virginia is not a bad pick, Richie. Not at all.
Except for when Kentucky plays them here on Sunday. Come on, let it be. And then to Richie, yes.
Yes.
We do believe in Rick Pitino.
Absolutely.
After last year, when that team was projected to go a long way and 10 seed, University of Calipari knocks him out, and the way they've been playing lately, just smacking dudes them out, smacking UConn twice, just embarrassing them. This team, I feel like, is just ready to rock. And then they got a 5th seed after all that. Rick Pitino is playing that up like nobody's business. He is playing it. He's hammering this team. He doesn't care if they won by 20-some. And then he's like, okay.
Nope.
Yep. And then he's like, yeah. And guess what? The committee thinks you suck too. I think you suck. Committee thinks you suck. Let's go prove everybody wrong. I got a lot of faith in Rick Pitino this year.
That man's coaching is timeless. It doesn't matter what era he's coaching in or what school. It doesn't matter. He gets results everywhere he goes. Like he's ridiculous.
You go for me, and this is tough to say because he's a Duke guy. You go Coach K, and you go Rick Pitino, and then you can argue the ones beneath those, but those are your top 2 college coaches of all time.
Well, I think John Wooden's got to be in there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm talking about.
He won a few titles.
The era of basketball that I can remember, I guess.
I just wonder if Coach K would have been.
Well, hell, I don't remember Coach Lombardi, but damn, you can't say he's not the greatest coach of one of the greatest coaches in NFL history.
You didn't watch Lombardi coach?
Is that supposed to be funny?
A little bit. All right, y'all. I appreciate you hanging out with us. Everybody watching, if you can share this for people to catch a replay, we'll also post the YouTube link tomorrow when everybody wakes up. Folks that didn't stay up with us late night can catch us as well. Make sure you go check out the Heavy Pour Sport Bracket Challenge. Completely free to enter. Enter one bracket, the one you believe in the most. Top 2 going to get some free merch sent your way, both State Line and Heavy Pour Sports through bluegrass-elite.com. That is super difficult for me to say, but I got through it that time. I'll pop up real quick let me get this up here. The QR codes, you can scan it. This one right here that you see over T's face. T may not do that to you. That's rude. Right there. Bam. That'll get you to State Line Co., their main site, AllUKBall 25. And then this one will get you to Bluegrass Elite, and you can go to the Heavy Pour Sports collaboration and get Border Rivals gear, AllUKBall gear, Heavy Pour Sports gear, whatever you want on top of. They got Tennessee, Louisville, Kentucky gear. They got everything you can think of right there. Heavy Pour 15 gets you 50% off, free shipping on all of it. Best time of the year. It is the best time of the year. I love March Madness. I think it's the greatest sporting event in all of sports. Stacking up against all of them. I'm taking this one. Unfortunately, we haven't enjoyed a deep run into April as Kentucky fans, but let's hope that changes. But team, I appreciate you guys. Before we hit this outro, go Cats.
Go Cats.
Go Big Orange.
Go Vols.
Peace.